What's going on, YouTube? This is BBSP. I wanted to make this video, man, because this whole GOAT conversation, GOAT argument is getting very tired to me. You know what I mean? It's getting very old. It's getting very, just nerve-wracking, man, because you got a lot of people out here that's going to have their own personal bias, and they're going to have an agenda as to why a certain player is this, why a certain player is that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? God damn, like, motherfuckers really be out here trying to cap for people, man. You know what I mean? Now, I admit, I kind of used to do it back then myself. But as I've gotten older, as I gotten older, I've looked at things differently. You know what I mean? I still have a clear thing, but I look at things differently, man, because I've expanded my way of thinking. You understand what I mean? One particular person, doesn't have to be the GOAT because there's been too many errors, number one. Number two, playing style is different. Everything from the defense to the offense, different schemes of defense and offense that certain players from certain eras face. You know what I mean? But reason I'm bringing this up, when you look at the so-called GOAT argument, I very rarely hear people bring up guys like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know what I mean? You're looking at arguably two of the most dominant big men of their era, okay? And you look at the numbers Wilt put up, all right? Guy was averaging damn near 50 points a game, 20 rebounds, damn near 8 and 10, 11 assists. He just damn near were averaging a triple-double. God damn. But, I very rarely hear his name being mentioned. This is a guy, Wilt Chamberlain, that he changed the fortune of the Philadelphia Syracuse Nationals / Philadelphia 76ers, then later on Los Angeles Lakers. People want to get on him because he didn't win that many rings, all the ring counters and all that stuff, all that shit, okay? And it's just baffling to me, man. Baffling to me, man, how people just dismiss this guy. Guy was doing amazing things on the court. The guy one time, one game, grabbed, if I'm not mistaken, damn near almost 30 rebounds in one game, okay? One game, all right? Now, when you look at it, the only thing that held Wilt back was the fact that he had, number one, he had to face the Boston Celtics, okay? When you look at that team he had to face, a row of Hall of Famers. I don't have to name the names. If anybody really knows basketball, okay? Like, what the fuck? You would know who I'm talking about. But when you go against that team year in and year out, and that team is always figuring out ways to beat you, you're not gonna win that many championships. Finally broke through in 1967 in that classic, with that classic all-time great team, but still, it wasn't like Wilt wasn't doing his part to make sure he held his end of the bargain. You look at the 100-point game, you know what I mean? Like, to this day, there's still no highlights of that shit. You know what I mean? And I just look in amazement as to how somebody can score 100 points in a game. When you think about it, that shit, you can say the error because of the errors, and people want to put out this narrative of short white people. We all know real basketball minds know that's bullshit. Real basketball minds know that's bullshit. And no matter who's in front of you, score 100 points, That shit takes work. That shit takes dedication. That shit takes commitment. Somebody scoring 100 points in a game, that's a record that's probably will never be broken. And you look at Wilt, athletically, he's probably the most athletic center of all time. I mean, you can make an argument for Kareem. You can make an argument for Nate Thurman. You can make an argument for even Artist Gilmore. But the things that Wilt did on the court, you know, you look at it, it's just a shock and awe and amazement. And it's funny to me how people just like dismiss this guy like he wasn't dominant. You know, I've got Wilt in my top five. Okay, clearly in my top five. But yet, you're not going to hear people talking about Kareem that much because they want to have agendas. Number one and number two. Okay. Number two, you got a whole lot of people who didn't even watch, basketball back then. You know, not even that. But look at guy Kareem, probably the most successful overall player in basketball history. I'm talking NBA, college, and as far as way back as high school. Even high school, he was dominating. Power Memorial out there in Long Island. Then UCLA won 3 championships in dominant fashion. The guy was a machine. Kareem was a machine, man. Like that sky hook, he basically perfected that shot, straight up. And the way he dominated at UCLA is the run he had. You'll probably never see that shit again, because UCLA, I think, won 3 out of 4 championships in the 1960s, right? And the only school that has come close to even matching that was Duke Blue Devils. And even then, their run pales in comparison to UCLA with Kareem. Back then known as UC Lou Alcindor. You know what I'm saying? Then he gets to the pros and continues his dominance. When Oscar Robertson won that 1971 championship, dominant fashion, him and Wilt had memorable games, had memorable battles. You understand what I mean? And it just goes to show that the way he dominated the game in that era. By 1971, I say Kareem was probably the best player in the NBA. Definitely the best player in the NBA. The way he dominated those finals, and the way he dominated a player like Wilt, just let you know how great this dude was. Then he gets to the Lakers, basically does the same thing, Basically, longevity, had the stats, became the all-time leading scorer during that time period. And you definitely see he belongs in that conversation. Like I said before, man, this whole GOAT argument is very subjective, very biased. And you see players, like I said before, you see goddamn players in the conversation. Like we got a whole lot of people out there trying to diminish both Kareem and Wilt for the sake of capping for they player and shit. You know what I mean? Which is complete and utter bullshit. We just compared players back in the day. We didn't use no certain metric or a certain bias to diminish a player, But I just wanted to get a quick combo in with y'all, man. You know what I mean? I just feel like this whole court argument is getting old to me, man. Like I said before, I still got Michael Jordan as the GOAT, but I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get mad if somebody considers Wilt, somebody considers Kareem, Magic, or hell, even LeBron. I don't give a fuck what y'all cats think. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Miss me with all that bullshit bias y'all throw at me, man. You know what I mean? I know it's the motherfuckers out here that throw that bullshit bias because you want to cap for your favorite player. Fuck that. It's all subjective at the end of the day, you know? So for me, I'm not gonna sit here and diminish the other guy just to make my guy look good. I'm done with that shit. So let me know what y'all think.